Form a polynomial function of degree 4 that satisfies the following conditions. Part A has roots at 2, 3, -5, and 7. Write it down. Part A, if 2 is a root, what is the corresponding factor? X minus 2. So remember, roots and zeros are numbers. When I say factor, I need a variable. So we're going to say, leave a little room here, x minus 2. If 3 is a root, what is its corresponding factor? X minus 3. -5 and +7. But to follow the directions, it says, form a polynomial function. Is this a function? How do I make it a function? Thank you. F of x equals. Now it's a function. Otherwise, it's just an expression. That'd be silly. Now, leave your answer in factored form. Why? Otherwise, 10 minutes later, you'll be done. Comment, does the book leave it in factored form? No, they expand it all out. So if you don't know if your answer is correct, then what I would suggest is go into y equals on your calculator, graph your answer, graph their answer. It should be the same graph. It's probably the easiest thing you could possibly do. Do not FOIL this out. Do students still try to FOIL it out? Yes. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Part B, form another function with the same roots as part A, but it's a different function. I'll help you out. You can't just change the name. Prince, symbol, back to Prince, still the same person. What was that thing? Circle with arrow. And then, was that what that one? I don't know, it's Prince. Yeah. Is everything? I don't know. Are they worse than Bonos that take up like the B thing?
Yeah, that's what they were.
Oh, that's no. Notice the overall directions say degree 4, so you can't change the multiplicity. You can't put like a squared on something. You can't add a factor because then that would change the degree as well. Can't take away a factor. What do you think? Change the... Well, if you made this x plus 2, you're changing the root to -2.
I think what she was saying was like multiply the entire thing by -1. So
That's fine. Well, does it have to be -1 though? What could it be? Well, we don't want that. No. Does it always? Could there be any other number you multiply by and get an answer? Well, that'd be the same. What number couldn't you multiply by? Let's just say it that way. 0. As long as you multiply by anything but 0, pi over e squared. Sounds good. You got yourself an answer. Because by multiplying, what are you doing to the graph? How are you transforming it? You're stretching it or compressing it in what direction? Vertically. So if you had this graph and then you stretched it, you're not changing these points because those y coordinates are 0. And when you multiply 0 by any number, you still get 0. Every other point moves. So by doing a stretch or compression or a reflection vertically, you are not changing the roots. You're changing everything else. Has roots at 4, 0, and -2 has a multiplicity of 2. So what is that going to look like? X minus 4. X minus 0, or you can just say X. Both are acceptable. X plus 2 quantity squared. Now, we're used to having it rearranged, so you might see it as X x minus 4, x plus 2 quantity squared. The rearrangement's completely up to you. They mean the exact same thing. I don't care. Questions? If you would, please try part D. Here's a hint. Be very careful. Very, very careful. I'll get you started. J of x equals, doesn't matter what you call it, you can just say y for all of them. If 3 plus 2y is a root, what is the corresponding factor? I didn't ask for the conjugate, I asked for the factor. So remember, anytime I say factor, I need a variable somehow. So 3 plus 2i is a root, so that's all of our c there. What's the corresponding factor? Yeah. So please be careful when you write it. X minus the quantity, 3 plus 2y. If you distribute that negative through, that's okay. But if you don't distribute the negative through and you write minus 3 plus 2i, that's bad. If 3 plus 2i is a root, what else is a root? And what's its corresponding factor? The quantity. Good. If 2 minus radical 3 is a root, what is its corresponding factor? Quantity? Good. And if 2 minus radical 3 is a root, so is its conjugate 2 plus radical 3. So what is its factor? So could you imagine how much fun it would be to FOIL all this out?